Watching this race right here and watching how it was unfolding, it did not have me sitting on the edge of my seat. It had me standing up because it was the most intense racing with these three guys as the laps were winding down to try to stay above the cut line.
You know who else was standing up or up on the wheel? Aric Almirola, because he knew exactly where he was, how many cars he needed to pass, and that is exactly what he did, Larry. Walk me through the way that Aric Almirola navigated this traffic.
Well, you can see right here, he was 5 below the cut line with 3 laps to go right there. Had much fresher tires than most of the drivers he was competing against. He gets by Ross Chastain in the 7 car right there. He now is 4 points below the cut line.
So check one off, and same lap, he's going to get him another one here, Casey.
Yep. Right here, you can see him go by the 72 of Cole Witt, and he just keeps clicking them off, doing what he needs to do to get up there and get inside these playoffs.
And you can see there now he's 3 points below the cut line, and we're still early in the 3 laps to go.
How about we go later in the lap? We're on the oval in turns 3 and 4. He's going to get another one, Larry.
Right here, he gets by Jeffrey Earnhardt, and he just keeps going, doing a good job. He's got a few more to go.
Yeah, and you're going to see as he goes by the 96 car, this is going to change to 2 points below the cut line, and we still are closing in on now 2 laps to go.
Now he's coming up on Daniel Hemrick in the 8. Daniel's done a great job all weekend, but Eric's on fresh tires and hungry and has to make sure he gets by him. Right here, he makes a real good move to get on the inside.
Yeah, he's going to go by Daniel Hemrick in the 8 car, and as he completes his pass in turn 1 of the NASCAR Oval, you'll see it goes to 1 point below the cut line. He still has 2 more drivers right out in front of him that he needs to pass.
Yeah, and now as we're going to the hard braking zone, he's got Daniel Suarez, and he's got the number 13 of Ty Dillon that he needs to get by. Makes a big mold move to try to get both of them right here.
Woo!
Doesn't get both, but he gets by the 13. It wasn't pretty, but he made it happen.
And you can see on the final lap, he's going to go by Daniel Suarez in the 19 car as they go into turn 1. And now, at this point, things are going to change, though, but he's 1 point above the cut line with that 10 car.
So he did his job. Now let's go to Jimmie Johnson, who, as we said prior to the restart, had a lot of cushion. Here we are, final lap, going for the victory with Truex.
Yeah, I mean, talking to Jimmy, earlier today, he just wishes he had a little more front brake. He had a really good shot at it, didn't quite get it. But right here, he has to get stopped. And he does that, which is good, right?
Yeah, he was 7 points above the cut line, running second to Martin Truex Jr. in the 78. He's going to go by Martin Truex Jr., and right now he's going to be 8 points above the cut line, but you can see it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's barely, Casey, going to finish in front of Kevin Harvick in that 4 car. He's going to stay 1 point above the cut line.
Yeah, right now he's sitting good, just here's what happens next.
And we all know it was just one spot. So as he's sitting there watching those cars go by, you got to think the frustration level and the emotions are rising. Let's talk about another guy, the 42. He was involved in this 3-way battle for the tie. If he wanted to get out in his car and push this car to victory lane, I'm sure that's what he was thinking inside.
I mean, you can see he's just beating and banging the wall, but what he needs to do, he needs to get by Jeffrey Earnhardt in this 96 car who was spun by Daniel Hemrick. There was a lot of things said on social media. Did Jeffrey Earnhardt just sit there where Kyle Larson could go by him? What had happened when Jeffrey got spun out? The engine spun backwards with electronic fuel injection and that electronic control unit. When something like that happens, it sends a code to the box that shuts the engine off. He could not refire the engine, which is why he's just sitting there.
So you look at this, it's +1 for both Almirola and Jimmie Johnson. This pass for Kyle Larson puts them at even, and therefore we have a tiebreaker situation, and the tiebreaker is best finish in the round. That means Vegas, the second place finish for Larson at Vegas, and Almirola, top 5 at Richmond. They're moving on. Jimmie Johnson is going home.